Well, let's jump into today's news broadcast. Let's start with some much needed good news. In a recent poll done by CBS News, it was found that many Americans are starting to see President Trump in a more positive light. In the poll, consisting of 2,175 U.S. adults, 53% of the public approves of the job Trump is currently doing, and 59% approve of his deportation of illegal immigrants. And 1 in 5 Democrats say they are shocked by how good of a job President Trump is doing. Now, 1 in 5, that's 20% of Democrats actually believe Donald Trump is doing a good job. Now, speaking of the media, something big is happening. With new evidence of CBS News editing the Kamala Harris interview to make her look smarter than she really is in order to rig the election in her favor, in light of this new information, President Trump and his team of lawyers have amended their $10 billion lawsuit. They're now going for $20 billion and want to push for discovery so that they can see who at CBS signed off on trying to rig the election to make Trump look bad and Kamala Harris look good. Now, CBS immediately filed a motion to dismiss with the judge. However, the case is going forward as a judge has ruled that Donald Trump has standing and there were, in fact, damages. In fact, now the FCC is opening their own investigation into CBS News trying to rig the presidential election in Kamala's favor. Let's just say, Kamala Harris, you look bad on your own, and CBS News tried to cover it up. However, CBS News is angry. They thought they would hide this and get away from it. And now it looks like they're going to take a $20 billion hit on the financial chin. Now, I wanted to share that information with you because it proves that big media is no longer winning. Without Biden in office, the supply of bribe money is being cut off. With U.S. aid being proven to be a money laundering scheme, financial aid is being cut off. With Big Pharma potentially being blocked from being able to advertise, that aid will be cut off. So lots of big things are happening against the mainstream media. But of course, the same logic doesn't apply to officials, as they tend to maintain their same biases, seemingly forever. Let me tell you what I mean. For example, Senate Democrat leader Chuck Schumer sent a letter to his Democrat colleagues reminding them of a possible upcoming Trump shutdown. Not a government shutdown, a Trump shutdown. Schumer stated, legislation in the Senate requires 60 votes, and Senate Democrats will use our votes to help steady the ship for the American people in these turbulent times. It is incumbent on responsible Republicans to get serious and work in a bipartisan fashion to avoid a Trump shutdown. Now, there's allegorical language being used here. First, it presupposes that all Democrats are good and unwise or unresponsible Republicans are bad, that the American ship is off course and unsteady, and that only Democrats can steady the American ship. How come when Schumer was in charge, he wanted to ramrod as much woke Democrat stuff down our throats? But now that they are the minority party, they want to play fair, call Trump a bully, beg representatives from the Republican Rhino Party to bail them out, and pretend as if the American ship is off balance. It's not. It's actually doing really well, and people are happy. Now, the fact that he's already referring to a possible shutdown as a Trump shutdown confirms to me that this was planned all along. They've probably been having private luncheons and coming up with some kind of clever language And I guess the best they could come up with is a Trump shutdown. Instead of coming to a government funding agreement while Biden was in office, they punted their decision so that they could make Trump look bad, use it against him, look for any opportunity to impeach him. Remember, they knew a shutdown would make Trump look bad. That's exactly why they pushed to extend the continuing resolution. Everything they do now is to make Trump look bad instead of doing what makes America great. Furthermore, Democrat Senator Andy Kim is willing to do the most to put a stop to Elon Musk and the DOGE group. Kim stated, "I cannot support effort that will continue this lawlessness that we're seeing when it comes to this administration's actions. For us to be able to support government funding in a way only for them to turn it around, to dismantle the government, this is not something that should be allowed." Now, I think you guys agree with me, but if not, let me know if I'm wrong. But I don't think that Trump and Elon Musk are dismantling the government. I think what they're doing is dismantling the corruption in the government. I believe what they are doing is right-sizing the government. For far too long, government has had the model of McDonald's. Would you like to supersize that? Would you like to supersize that? Would you like to supersize that? Now Trump and the Patriots, what they're doing is they are right-sizing the government. You don't need 100 people if 10 can get the job done. You don't need 1,000 people if 100 is the correct number. This is why they are shrinking the government. And this is why they're going after government corruption. I'm telling you with absolute certainty, these Democrats are panicked by what the American people are seeing and learning about their money laundering operations, about these dark funnels where they are stealing our money and shipping it off to organizations that either vote for them or vote against what's good for America. We're sick and tired of it. Americans are having their eyes opened, and the Democrats are desperately trying to cover our eyes and our ears and our mouths so that we don't know what they're doing in the dark of night. Well, we're shining light on it, and what you're doing is evil. You have literally been using our money to fund an illegal invasion of America. No more. This is stopping right now. Now, Democrats in the Senate and House see the upcoming funding deadline as an opportunity to push back on President Trump and Elon Musk, to stop them from freezing federal payments, to stop them from ending the Department of Education, from auditing the military and the Pentagon and the Department of Education. If they start looking under the hood, these Democrats know that they're not going to find millions of dollars, but billions of dollars in corruption, in bribery, in dirty deeds. It's really bad. I mean, our government has wasted trillions of dollars. However, U.S. District Judge John McConnell has demanded the Trump administration immediately end federal funding pauses until he decides whether to permanently block the freeze. So this judge has now made himself more important than the president of the United States. And J.D. Vance said, whoa, wait a minute. You can't tell the chief executive what to do when you're all the way at the bottom of the ladder. That's not how it works. He is the chief over the company, over the country. This is most likely going to end up in a federal court or at the Supreme Court. Now, Judge McConnell stated the broad, categorical, and sweeping freeze of federal funds is, as the court found, likely unconstitutional and has caused and continues to cause irreparable harm to vast portions of this country. So this judge is saying it's unconstitutional and it's damaging vast portions of the country. But in reality, all it's doing is damaging sanctuary cities and Democrat-led cities and counties. Well, guess what? They've been doing enough damage on their own. Why do they need my money in Chicago to destroy the country? Why do they need my money in San Francisco or New York or Los Angeles? I'd like my money to stay right here in Utah, and I'm sure you want your money to stay right where you are. By the way, let me know in the comments, where are you watching from tonight? I always like to see where people are watching from. Again, I started this very video by saying how much the American people want Donald Trump to gut the government and stop the wasteful spending. Almost 60% of the country believes he's doing a good job. They want the illegals out. They want the corruption out. However, with the right judge, these Democrats might be able to block Donald Trump. Unbelievable. This new order came after Democrat attorney generals in 22 states challenged the federal freeze. The attorneys generals wrote, while it is imaginable that a certain amount of machinery would need to be retooled in order to undo the breadth of the federal funding freeze, there is no world in which these scattershot outages, which as of this writing impact billions of dollars in federal funding across the plaintiff state, can constitute compliance with court orders. I mean, basically what they're saying is, we can't function without this stolen taxpayer money. So you got to give it to us. What's funny is if you think about it, what they just admitted is they are saying their programs rely on federal government taking money from local taxpayers in order to run their programs. Well, I don't want your programs. I want the programs I care about, which are about making America great again. Now, in regards to handling funds, DOGE leader Elon Musk called for judges to be fired annually after a judge ruled early Saturday that the Treasury Department should restrict payment system access to only civil servants with a need to access to perform their job duties. However, the new head of the Treasury says Elon Musk hasn't done anything illegal. So Elon is saying, I'd like to propose that the worst 1% of appointed judges, as determined by elected bodies, be fired every year. This will weed out the most corrupt and the least competent of judges. Now, let me know, this is something that happens in the business world. Businesses go in and they say, the bottom 1%, you're fired. The bottom 5%, you're fired. The bottom 10%, you're fired. But that isn't how government works. They want to keep people on as long as possible, whether they're doing a good job or not. All right, now I have a lot more to share with you, some crazy stuff. But first, a word from today's sponsor. Now that Fauci has been pardoned, Trump's HHS team is going to unearth what most of us already knew about the pandemic. This effort won't help the tens of millions of Americans who have never felt the same after getting the virus or the mRNA shot. We all know someone with a personal story about COVID or the shot. Pfizer has now been forced to release a detailed list of side effects associated with its COVID-19 shot. Sadly, there are many issues. Some of them, myocarditis, blood clots, are creeping up on people in a blink of an eye, causing debilitating health issues. A less severe but common concern is long COVID syndrome, a condition that leaves people with brain fog, chronic fatigue, shortness of breath, and it lingers for months. In some cases, people have been dealing with long COVID for over a year now. Well, support is on the way. You get 4 doctor-formulated nutraceuticals with 5 to 8 plant and minerals in each bottle, designed to address the root cause. Ultimate Spike Detox, Mind Lift, Elevated Energy, and Healthy Heart. Dr. Peter McCullough recommends a durable, healthy recovery through holistic health. I want you to explore these long COVID support options. Right now, you can save $40 on the bundle, plus get an additional $23 off and free shipping. Just head to twc.health/amazing and use code AMAZING to get this discount. Seriously, guys, there are ways to break up the spike protein, get your health back, get your mental health back, your heart health back, your breathing health back. Go check it out right now. All right, Trump, as commander-in-chief, has authorized Elon Musk and his team to investigate the fraud within the federal government, and he outlines exactly what he wants next. Let's go ahead and take a look at that together.
Mr. President, I wonder what you make of the criticism from Democrats that these staff reductions, the cuts that Elon Musk and DOGE are doing are an unlawful power grab. Is there anything you've told Elon Musk he cannot touch?
Well, we haven't discussed that much. I'll tell him to go here, go there. He does it. He's got a very capable group of people. Very capable. They know what they're doing. They'll ask questions and they'll see immediately as somebody gets tongue-tied that they're either crooked or don't know what they're doing. We have very smart people going in. So I've instructed him go into education, go into military, go into other things as we go along. And they're finding massive amounts of fraud, abuse, waste, all of these things. So, but I will pick out a target and I say go in. There could be areas that we won't, but I think everything's fertile. You know, we're a government. We have to be open. And as an open government, I don't know, I guess you could say maybe some high intelligence or something. And I'll do that myself if I have to. But generally speaking, I'll just say go. But he will be looking at education pretty quickly, and he will be looking at military too.
All right. Trump cracks me up. If there's something of high intelligence, I guess I'll look into it myself, right? I mean, Elon Musk is pretty high intelligence, and their criteria was high IQ and an understanding of payment systems. I mean, this is the guy that created PayPal, for heaven's sakes. Elon Musk and his team, they understand payment systems better than probably the people running the U.S. Treasury, if I'm being honest. But you heard it right there from President Trump. I want the military investigated. I want the Department of Education. In fact, I want all areas of government. We're a government. We should be transparent with taxpayer money, but that's not what they want. They want to operate with our hard-earned money in the dark, the cover of night, right? Like I'm done with it. I want this situation to be fixed. Now, earlier this week, Dems advised White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles that Musk's access to government databases and payments jeopardized national security. So now you're telling me Elon Musk figuring out where Nancy Pelosi's sending money, Chuck Schumer's sending money, Hakeem Jeffries is sending money, Rhino Republicans are sending money. Suddenly, that's a national security issue? I think that's a Chuck Schumer issue. I think that's a Nancy Pelosi issue. I don't think that's a national security issue. And by the way, President Trump, he doesn't want to do anything that brings harm to the United States of America. Just the opposite. He wants to make America great again, which means making us an economic powerhouse. That's why he's bringing in trillions of dollars in new investment. At the same time, he's cutting budgets and cutting out the fraud. This is exactly what you do with your household income, right? You go, oh crap, we're financially in debt or we're in a bad situation. We have two options. We can earn more money or we can lower our bills. And most people, they try to do both. But at least do one or the other. Trump is doing both through Elon Musk and the rest of his people. Elon Musk isn't the only one making America great again. We've got Tom Homan, Kristi Noem. We've got so many great people. Now, this letter that Democrats sent says no information has been provided to Congress or the public as to who has been formally hired under DOGE. under what authority or regulation DOGE is operating, or how DOGE is vetting and monitoring its staff and representatives before providing them seemingly unfettered access to classified material and Americans' personal information. They always try to do this. Oh, Elon Musk is a boogeyman. He's going to look at your social security number, right? What he's looking at is where billions and billions of dollars are being sent. I mean, for heaven's sakes, we spent $40 million on a gas station in Afghanistan that literally didn't pump 1 liter of fuel. And yes, I say liter because outside of America, they use liters, not gallons. All right, now please let me know in the comments. Are you happy with DOGE? Are you shocked by some of the stupid, wasteful spending of our government? For me, it's a resounding yes. I'm happy with Trump. I'm happy with Elon Musk. In fact, Trump has instructed Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth to work hand in hand without blocking Elon Musk's team to audit the U.S. Pentagon and the U.S. military. Now, let me know in the comments, do you think we're about to find billions of dollars in waste, billions of dollars in fraud, and billions of dollars of jacked up prices because no one in the government fights to properly use American tax money? That's what they're going to find. All right, now lastly, one of the Democrat Party's top donors, top workers, top fundraiser, she has left the party, Mrs. Lee. She recently went on the Sean Ryan podcast to expose all of the stupid stuff she witnessed with her own eyes in the final months of the Biden-Harris administration. Let me show that to you. You're going to be blown away by some of the stupidness that was going on. Let me bring this to the screen, and we'll go ahead and hit play and watch it together.
So I should also mention that after the debate, Hunter basically commandeered the White House. He sat in on all the White House top-level meetings. You had a former cocaine addict sitting in on the most sensitive meetings of the most consequential and important government in world history. Does that sit right with you?
No.
Without security clearance, mind you. No security clearance. That's who was basically running the show. So,
oh, wait a minute. Oh, they didn't care when Hunter Biden with 0 security clearance was running the White House, had access to all the highest forms of government, computers, meetings, 0 clearance. Meanwhile, Elon Musk has one of the highest security clearances because he runs the rocket program for the United States of America.
Hunter basically battened down the hatches after the debate to make sure that his father would only receive intel that he pre-approved. And so Anita Dunn got exiled around this time, along with her husband. Her husband was playing Trump in the debate prep. Ron Klain was disgraced after the debate blew up. And then Jeff Zients, the person who's worth like hundreds of millions of dollars, the chief of staff. I should mention that the weekend that Biden made the decision to drop out, he only told 2 people in that circle, and that's that's Steve Ricchetti and Mike. He didn't tell Anita because I was on a call with Anita that morning and she had no idea it was going to happen. It completely caught her off guard. So by that time, they were already easing her out of the circle.
Is there any, did we cover all the names?
Did we? Jill Biden?
Jill Biden.
She was like president. She was president.
You guys, behind the scenes, Jill Biden was the president of the United States. This is a top Democrat person with access telling us now that it's over, the person really running the White House was Jill Biden. And after the awful debate against Trump, they locked it down and Hunter Biden made himself president. This is insanity.
With Joe and Jill the night of the debate. I was at their VIP debate watch party. I slept all the way to Atlanta, Georgia for that to show my support. Oh my gosh, Sean, you wouldn't believe it. So that night I have the pictures too. I was with Joe. And so Jill takes Joe by the hand. The names are so similar. I'm sorry. Jill takes Joe by the hand on stage and she's like, Joe, you knew all the facts. You answered all the questions. And you know that hand gesture that she does. And I'm thinking, you're treating him like a first grader, like just because he, like you shouldn't applaud him for doing the basics.
But that's where his mind was at. She talked to him like a first grader because mentally he's a first grader. He's a old man with a weak memory. That's what Special Counsel Robert Hur told us.
And you could just tell that she was fighting for dear life to hold on to the vestige of power. And just a few days later, she was on the cover of Vogue. So the whole thing was a Jill Biden show. She was not as authentic as Joe, I want to say. I think as Joe got older, maybe you think I'm naive in saying this, but I'm not even sure if he remembers all of the corruption that he engaged in.
It doesn't surprise me.
Wow. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is a top Democrat with access, behind the scenes access, letting us know Jill Biden was really running the country and Joe Biden was more authentic than Jill Biden, and that she honestly believes Joe Biden doesn't remember that he was a corrupt, terrible human being. Wow. It's pretty easy to say kind things about yourself when you have dementia and you don't remember all of the awful things that you did and said. Let me know over in the comments, would you have guessed that Jill Biden was the one really running the country? I mean, I kind of picked up on that when they hadn't had a cabinet meeting in 17 months. They finally bring in everybody from the Biden administration, something that Trump does regularly. And who runs the meeting? It's not Joey, it's Jill. Jill runs the meeting. Wow, wow, wow. All right, I want to be respectful of your time, get you guys out of here. Please give this video a like, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for letting me be a source of truth. You guys, I search out every day these stories so that you know what's really going on in America. And I appreciate you guys letting me be the one to do that. Hey, I love you. Stay amazing, and I will see you